Welcome back to Minecraft. I've got Sarah with me. Hello. Just remember to hold push to talk down until you finish talking. Don't release too early. Okay, so on this episode, there's a couple of bits I want to just show that I've changed and a little bit of recipes. And one of them is these redstone energy conduits. So I'm just going to show very quickly how to make those. In here I've got some hardened glass, and I think I've got some electrum which I saved back. Here we go. And it's pretty simple. You just take your electrum and the hardened glass in the middle and you get empty energy conduits. You then take those empty energy conduits and you put them in your liquid transposer here and fill it with redstone. And once you've done that, then you have energy conduits here. So that's very quickly. I believe I made these energy cells last time. What I've done is I've placed this energy cell up here and I've given a kill switch for our power, which currently should be off, which is why it's draining the cell and not replenishing. If I need more power, I just hit this button here and we should start generating more power than we're using, which is about true here. But there's enough in the energy cell. I don't want to waste power, so I'm just turning it off. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I have moved the engines downstairs, which I'll just show very fast.
Oh, I didn't know we had a downstairs.
I added it last night, this morning.
Cool.
And then I've used a bit of vanilla redstone here, which is attached to the kill switch. And I've got another redstone energy cell down here with some half power leading up to a room on this side. And it's that room which we're going to be dealing with today. Which is specifically our storage room. So instead of this being a storage room the way it's laid out now, we're going to use applied Energistics to provide our storage for us. And to use applied Energistics, Sarah's here to learn, so that's why she's joined me here. So I'm going to type in my NEI here at applied so I can see everything. And the first thing I'm going to want is an ME controller. An ME controller is basically the backbone of the whole system that you're going to be building. Over time we'll be expanding it, but I'm going to keep it fairly simple for now. And I want some advanced processors, but to make advanced processors you actually need to make a quartz cutting knife to get started with some of this. And I don't think the quartz cutting knife is particularly difficult to make. If I just check here, there's a couple of ways of making it. So it's just a piece of iron and a couple of quartz of some kind. So I'll just pick up some iron from in here.
I've got plenty of quartz and iron, so...
Yeah, there's never quartz in here as well, which we'll be needing for some of the build. And I will also need a couple of sticks, so that's easy done. I've got some wood. I probably won't use all of that. There we go. And like so. And then I'm just going to use my minion stone to do this, but if you just look up the recipe, Sarah, for a quartz cutting knife, that will be your basic tool to get started. And I'm going to need a couple of different things I need to cut up. Some will be gold and some will be diamond, so, or at least one will be diamond. I think it's just one I need.
It's pretty straightforward.
It is, yep. And what's the last part of this? Silicon. So silicon you make by taking Certus quartz dust and cooking it. I believe you can also cook nether quartz dust as well. The other material I'm going to need as well is this nether quartz dust. and I've started making some already just to get started, but you just put nether quartz in and start pulverizing it in a pulverizer here, which is what I've done. And we're also going to need some silicon, so I'm going to start cooking that up. There's maybe a couple of silicon here already, but that's fine. So I'll just use this work table so you can see a little bit of what's going on here. So I'll use my quartz cutting knife, redstone on either side, silicon, and that's how to cut up any of these processors. Now, depending on what you're making, depends on whether you need diamond or gold. And for any complicated machine that's extremely powerful, use diamond one, which makes an advanced processor assembly. So I'll just grab that. And for anything else, I'm actually going to need about 20 of the gold ones. And because I'm just run out of silicon here, so I'm just going to grab some of the ones I've just made here and place those in, and I'll take all 14 of those. That might be even enough to get me started, I'm not sure. I'll tell you what, I'm going to take the risk. If I need to make more later on, I will do. So just make the last of these gold ones like so. Now I've got 20 of the gold ones and 1 diamond one. And each of these processors, once you've made them, you actually need to cook them as well. So I'm just going to put them in the powered furnace here. And it will start cooking up our processors, leaving us with a diamond processor. So that's one of the first things to make. The next, we're going to need fluix crystals. And fluix crystals require certix quartz, nether quartz, and redstone. Okay, I have all of those in this other room. So let's go here. We've got some redstone in here. Got some nether quartz in here, and some certix quartz. And although I only need, I think I need 4. So let's clear that out. Put some redstone, nether quartz, and certix quartz in here. And 1, 2, 3, 4. If I need any more, then the recipe will just be there when I need it. So that's good. And what else was it for the ME controller? Some iron, which I left in the chest. I can't wait to have this built, because once I have this built, I won't need to worry so much about travelling back and forth from chests, which I'm always doing. It's horrible. I'm always forgetting something when I'm trying to build. I'm just horrible at that. So just because this one's a bit more complicated, I'm actually going to use this for my minion stone. And here we go, an ME controller. And I actually will go straight to our next machine for placing this down. So with an ME controller, that actually controls your network from Applied Energistics. The next thing you need to do is be able to access the network. So to do that, we're going to make ourselves an access terminal. And again, in any IS area, you can look up access terminal. And this is going to require something called ME cabling and conversion matrix. So the ME cabling, that's a little bit easier to make. That's from fluix dust, which is nether quartz dust, which you just saw me pulverize, some certix quartz dust, and some redstone. So very similar to the fluix crystals I just made. Oh no, here they are. I probably don't need a lot of this, so I just place it here, here, and some redstone here, and I'll turn all this fluix dust like so, and then I think I was cooking up some glass. Here we go. So I place the fluix dust across the middle, and glass top and bottom is actually going to make me some cabling. and I'm going to need cabling in the future regardless, like in a long distance future. And seeing as I'm already got the screen open, I will just go ahead and make all of the cables. I don't need that much for today, but later on I will definitely need lots and lots of ME cabling. Basically that's all the applied Energistics cabling to be able to connect one machine to another if they're connected from a distance. And so that's the cabling. Now what else was part of our access terminal? A conversion matrix. Now that requires some nether quartz, the Certix quartz, Fluix dust again. Oh, I wish I hadn't used it all now. And iron. Okay, I'm going to have to make some more then. Got nether quartz dust. So I just need some Certix quartz dust. I think I've got some in the other room. I'm always doing stuff like this, using materials I actually need. Here we go. There we go. I've got a bit left. Here we go. So a lot of this is to do with just setting up right now, so in putting it together, which is just gathering the materials. Very soon we'll be placing the machines down. You can see how those work. Did I pick up some Certix quartz? I've got some iron on me. I need some nether quartz. Just got some Fluix dust. That looks okay. And here's my access terminal here with the conversion matrix. And have I picked up my basic processors yet? I don't think I have. They're in here. Good. So I think I'll just use my minion stone to make this again. Access terminal, conversion matrix. I should have the stuff here. I think I need 2 of these overall conversion matrices. So I will make 2. If I need to come back and make more, I'll just make more, that's fine. So let's have a look. How well am I doing on here? So I've got some glass, conversion matrix 1, iron ingots, and ME cabling. So I do have enough if I've got some glass in my inventory. So let's try that again. Oh, what am I missing? I must have left something behind. Got some ME cable. Ah, in here. That's what I left behind. There we go. Now I've got an access terminal. An access terminal is basically just a way of viewing stuff as if you're going to pull items out of the system and put items in, but you can't do anything fancy with it. And there is like an upgrade to the access terminal called a crafting terminal. And the crafting terminal requires storage cells, is the part that makes that one a little bit more complicated. While I'm here, I'll just make the crafting bench that I need for it. And the storage cells are made using the basic processors, the gold ones we've just made, some Certix quartz and redstone. And in this case, how much have I got? I'm going to go grab some more Certix quartz because I actually need quite a lot for my planned build here. In here. There we go.
This was mildly complicated.
It is mildly complicated. Most of it is following NEI though, and you'll see that when you've actually built the object, it's actually really simple to put together. It's just fairly complicated to craft, which is a shame. But yeah, it's the crafting that's the difficult part, I guess. So let's go for our storage cell. It's Certix quartz, redstone, and a basic processor. Do I have enough redstone here? No. Let's go grab more redstone. Here we go. Another stack should do it.
I think between us all we've got tons of it, so...
Oh yeah, definitely. I just didn't have any enough in this bench here. Okay, so it was redstone on the corners, Certix quartz up, down, left and right, and basic processors in the middle. And for this, I'm going to need 11 storage cells altogether. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now you can see why I grabbed so much redstone and everything. And now I've got those storage cells. I can now go back to my recipe for the crafting terminal, and it uses the access terminal as part of the recipe as it's an upgrade for it. Some glass, some iron. The storage cell gives me a crafting terminal. So now I have two machines. I've got a controller and I have a crafting terminal. Now the next thing I need to make is a way of storing our items, and that uses hard disk drives. And for that I'm going to need to make myself a chest, which I guess represents its storage capability. And I may have to do this in here. Here we go.
Does it matter what type of chest you use? Couldn't it make it a bigger capacity thing, or does it just one across the board?
It's just the basic chest you need for this. We're actually, that doesn't represent the storage for the items. This represents storage for the hard drives. And we're actually going to be making hard drives. That is the storage, which is why we made all those extra storage cells. Is actually for those. So we put the basic processor top and bottom. And what else did we need here? Glass and iron. Okay. So I think it was glass on the sides here. Shall I leave that there? And some iron here as well, and that gives us an ME drive. I'll keep the rest in here. There we go.
Cool.
So now I've got 3 units, an ME drive, a crafting terminal and a controller. How much space have you got in your inventory, Sarah?
A lot.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I may need one of your spaces.
I've got more than one, so you're safe.
Good. So the last thing we need to make is the hard drives themselves, and they come in different sizes. And you've got 1K, 16K, 64K. There's a 4K here. So each of them, they store a different amount. Now, the way I've always built and applied Energistics system is I find that I get more limited by the amount of types of objects it can store than by the amount of objects altogether. So to better explain that, I'm going to show in, I guess I can use my inventory for it. So here, an iron ingot represents one type. There's 40 of them in my inventory, but it's still only one type. So if we count through in my inventory, you'll see that I've got 10 different types here, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I've got 28 types just in my inventory alone, because that's how many squares it gets filled up. However, in terms of full storage in my inventory, each of these could hold up to 64 if it was all stacks, everything. So, I'd have 64 iron, 64 lead, 64 glass, etc., etc. And that represents the bytes used on the storage drive is that. So let's say, for instance, if you've got a hard drive that is filled up with cobble, then it will be able to store up to 1024 cobble. And that would only represent one type. But the limiting factor, as I say, is I think it's always the type, so 63 different types. So it tends to have a variety of objects instead of a bulk of an object. And if I wanted to store in bulk, then I personally use barrels. So again, that's why I tend not to go for these big hard drives. If you do want to make a big hard drive though, you have to make these storage blocks and storage clusters, and they're very expensive actually, and they're very complicated to make. And as you can see, each of these requires an awful lot of these storage cells and quartz and everything else. So to prevent all of that craziness, hopefully I've got the stuff in my inventory here to just go ahead. Let's check. Nope. What am I missing? Definitely got missing redstone. Let's try that. Ah, that really was all I was missing, is the redstone. So now I can actually fill up my inventory and grab 9, which is what I counted. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And grab one more and throw it on the floor for Sarah to pick up for me, hopefully. Brilliant. So, are you ready to help build this now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first thing we're going to have to do, oh, I was going to say is make a mess, but not so bad. If you've got enough storage for one piece of amber, or if you want to move it to a different chest, that's cool. I'm kind of literally full in inventory. And you might also want to pick up this chest. Awesome. So, we've got power coming from downstairs, because all of this always requires a power supply. And we're going to start off with placing down, as we said, the heart of the network, the ME controller. And that's this machine. You can see it's already powered up because the lights have just come on. And I'll get rid of these signs here because I don't need them anymore. And I'm going to make a mess here. If you can pick any of that up, great. If not, don't worry. Oh, cool. You do have enough space. Good. So the next thing I'm going to place down is this storage drive. Now personally I prefer to face it back to front, so that's why I'm facing very strangely here in the bid to try and place it well. So if I get that here, is this going to work? I may have to do some funky jumping. There we go. So I prefer to place it back to front. It's personal preference. The reason is that once I place all of these hard drives in, and if you take a look in your inventory, you should have one of the hard drives as well, Sarah. So if you want to place it in the last spot in this drive I've just placed down. There we go.
There we go.
And I'll show you how that works in a second. And the last block we need is this crafting terminal we made, and this is our interface to the entire system. And that I'm putting right at the top here. Now, if we look inside here in our crafting terminal, it's empty. But it won't be now, because I'm going to shift click items from my inventory and store them in here. So if you look now, you can see that this is now filling up with items. And anything excess in your inventory you've helped pick up for me, you can place in here as well, which I can see you're doing. Now, if any time I need to look anything up and I can't find it because it's too full of stuff, I can just use the search window at the top and search for planks. I can sort, at the moment it's sorted by item name, but I could also sort by the number of items, so the stuff I've got the most of goes up to the top. I can, I'm not quite sure what the sell order is. I think that's probably by item ID. Oh no, that's item ID. I'm not sure what priority sell order is. If you know, let me know. This button here, the stored and craftable, that is a button that will come into play later, but we haven't built the machine that goes with it, so right now that doesn't do anything. And this is just the sorting direction up and down, so it's not a problem. And here is a crafting grid. Now what I like about this crafting grid in particular, and I'm going to show this very quickly with a basic recipe. I think it's usually better if I search for the item that you're interested in looking up. In this case I'm just going to use chests as an example. Select the chest with the crafting grid open, shift click like we were doing before, and it actually looks inside your system for the items, and now it will make myself a chest. So that's pretty nifty, because now I don't have to go looking in all the chests for any of the items I need. All I need to do is look in here. And so now all of these things in these chests, I can actually now just store absolutely everything we own inside the computer. And you can even store the chest itself once it's been emptied. Here we go. Almost got every item out of that. This is going to make it really easy for me, because you always see when I'm working on building something, I'm going backwards and forwards because I keep forgetting items. Now I won't ever have to do that again. Cool. That's empty. Good, we're going to be able to empty this fairly quickly with your help, Sarah. Thank you. Here we go. I'm hoping to fill this up enough to be able to activate the grid below, which is why I'm doing this on camera and not off camera. Is I still want to show a function yet that we haven't shown, and to do that is actually going to require filling up most of this stuff as best as I can. So let's start filling this through. Oh, one thing to note that I didn't say out loud, but you may have noticed, is that I don't necessarily, well, all of these machines need power, but I didn't need to put cables to each of them, and that's because it transfers its power through this controller. Any ME block will actually transfer power through itself. So as long as they're touching each other, they'll communicate. If, for instance, you wanted them separate for any reason, then that's where the ME cable comes in, and you're able to store things that way as well. That's empty. Now, I am concerned that this hasn't reacted the way I expected it to react. Let me just have a look. Oh, here we go. Now it is. So, if you notice on the hard drive indicator over here, a green light's come on. And if I look in the hard drives, it's because one of these hard drives, or two of them in this case, has actually filled up on types. So two of them have filled up on types, but not their actual storage capacity. So to indicate that our types are starting to fill up, the green bar starts going up here. And there'll be another bar here, I believe it's yellow, on the right hand side. That will represent the volume of items. So if, say for instance, you're math storing cobble and it fills up a drive with just cobble, then you'll see that that bar at the bottom on the right hand side will also fill up. And yeah, that makes for a much tidier storage room, don't you think, Sarah? I assume she's saying not.
Sorry, the phone went. Sorry, the phone went. Yeah. A lot tidier, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. That's all I was really going to show really on this episode. I will show that in my base in Grand Central, I've already built such a system. And I'll just show a little bit of how I set it up over there. I've got it a bit tidier over there just because just the way that building's built means that I can keep it fairly tidy. So in a similar way, this time I've embedded them in the walls, and right now it's actually powered down. You can see that because the ME controller's down, and that's because I didn't want to waste energy. The redstone energy cell here is empty, which I've placed in, and I'm going to break through the wall here just to show. Now the engines that you'd seen me make before, they're behind this wall, and I've used a little bit of vanilla redstone here to just wire it all up. Oh, do not forget, if you using redstone energy conduits on engines, if you wrench them, it changes. You can see this is changing from blue to orange. Orange means power is coming out of it, and as it's an engine, producing power, you need to draw the power out, so you turn it into orange mode. It's the easy way to think about it is it looks like an arrow in the red there pointing up, so it's pointing away from the engine, and if you look here, it reverses the arrow pointing down into the engine. We don't want power going into it, we want it coming out.
It's Tetris blocks.
A little bit, and yeah. And then the cable comes into my energy cell here, and the energy cell powers everything. So, just to keep it all tidy, I hide it behind this brick wall. And now anytime I need to access my system, I turn this switch which powers the engines starts filling up the energy cell here, starts filling up the power here, and now I have access to all my stuff. And I'm going to take these iron chests, and I can grab anything I want that I own. So instead now of having lots of storage across here, which is what I previously had, I've now reduced it all into this wall, and it's fairly tidy, right?
Yep. Although
Cool.
you do need to do something about your floor because it's all higgity-biggity colours.
Yeah, well, yeah. At some point, I've been busy building other stuff, so I will get round to it when I can be bothered.
Oh, that's cool. The coal coke you had in your coke oven is in your thing box thing.
Okay,
outside.
in the terminal.
Yep.
Nice. So there's a big tree just suddenly growing up at Elfie's base. That's weird. I'll go take a look at that off camera, I guess. Find out what's going on there. I believe she was trying to do some expanding.
Farms.
Oh, you're here. Hello, Elfie.
Elfie!
Hello.
Oh, if you're here, maybe I will come take a look on camera then. It doesn't matter.
Are you having troubles?
It's going well. Not really though.
You've actually got an
Figure
interesting
out what you
problem
have.
you're trying to solve, aren't you? And perhaps
Depends on the problem because I found a fix to one problem that was very obvious.
okay. Well, I think your design for this platform, and we're going to climb up. Hopefully, it's easy enough to get around here, is it? I hope so.
That was probably not the best idea to go up
Ouch.
there. That was, yeah. You're better to come up this way, really.
Which way?
That yeah,
Noob!
like from the farm, like from the main treehouse, because that was when I was building. But then it's a bit, yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
complicated now.
Luckily, I've got that force armor that we made the other episode. It's super strong.
Mhm.
And where's the route to it? Your winding tree house. Here we go. I think this is the route.
Men's sense of direction is atrocious.
Well, I've walked straight there pretty much. Let's take a different route. So here's the issue that we're kind of facing here, is that we've got a harvester and potentially a tree farm, I guess. Is it that you're doing, or are you doing just a wheat farm?
I'm not sure yet. Ignore that platform above us. I was playing with things. I figured
Okay.
out a fix though that it
Well,
wouldn't quite work for anyone else.
Explain the problem
The
first.
I was
Yeah.
about to. The problem that we were looking at was that because the harvester harvests plants and trees, potentially it could harvest the platform it was stood on because it was going to be made from wood. However, luckily for me, I built using acacia wood, which the harvester does not harvest. Yay!
Oh yeah, that's true. We had another solution though. If it was going to harvest, didn't we? We were going to use.
We were going to use secret rooms blocks to make it look like wood. The area that the harvester could reach and keep the bits that it couldn't reach real wood. But as I say, luckily my choice of wood has saved the day.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
currently trying to fix this down here if you were interested. It's a bit small, but you know.
Okay. Well, we'll take a look. Might as well. If I can't solve it, then the
Very
audience might.
Well, I know what I'm trying to do. I just haven't finished because you guys were like, "Oh, let's go visit LD," and I was
Okay.
in the process and making it so the saplings come through, and then I'm gonna.
Oh,
there's assaulting you.
sorry.
Then I'm
Yeah.
gonna
No, I didn't.
reroute
And
it
my
back
son
up.
pressed them out.
Okay. We'll keep your son away for a moment. From what I can tell here, then you're trying to get saplings from the harvester above, and then place the saplings or whatever back into the machine, right?
Yep. I'm gonna do that with a diamond pipe, and then I'm gonna have to make myself some cobblestone pipe so that I can route it back, like from here. Like have the diamond pipe pass by here.
Yeah.
Well, and then route it back and put a chest next to it so all the spare stuff goes up there, because at the moment I can't pipe it. I'm hoping later on, once we get the tech, I can teleport things through to my base, because I don't want pipes ruining it. But, you know, I can manually gather for the moment.
Okay, well yeah, that looks like it will work anyway, so as long as you place in the yellow output here that you're going to be
Yep.
wanting saplings.
Any seeds or saplings or whatever as I'm growing.
Yeah, you're building.
And then, as I say, I need cobblestone so it doesn't connect to my stone pipes, and then I can route it back along and up to the top.
Yeah, okay, so basically it's a piping problem. Eventually we'll, as we were saying, we've not got using the tech yet, but very soon we'll be showing you how to make tesseracts, and because we haven't really done it on camera yet, the others aren't using them, just so they're not jumping ahead too far. And yeah, when we show tesseracts, we'll show you how to teleport items from one place to another, which will be very good.
Yay! Get nice and tidy.
Yeah, it does. Keeps everything very tidy. Cool. Well, thanks for doing that, Althea. I know that was an unexpected diversion on our video.
No worries. It's fine.
Okay, cool. Alright, well, I think a good time for me to finish off this episode, so I'm going to thank the audience ever for watching and enjoying our videos. If you have done so and you want to support the series, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit that like button. That's always very helpful. And yeah, we're always looking for more suggestions and ideas on the server. We do listen, we do make changes based on them, so definitely keep leaving those comments. We love them. And I think from myself, Althea, Sarah, and the rest of the team on here, see you next time. Bye.